What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Normalcy Aside podcast with your host, me, Sarah, and
Victor.
Victor. Victor, yep. Today we're going to be reviewing the movie, the anime. Is it animated film or just
I'd
anime?
say animated film.
The animated film Maquia When the Promised Flower Blooms, or Sayonara no Asa ni Yaku ni Yaku ni Yaku Soku no Hana o Kazuro. Nailed it.
First take. I'm gonna throw in how you say it on screen also.
Nailed it. Anyways, yeah,
First try.
I mean, we're going to be talking about that today and reviewing it. So, I guess we'll just start off with the basic question of how would you rate it, Victor, the movie,
Dude,
and what did you think of
honestly,
it? Yeah, honestly.
honestly I really loved it.
Yeah? You liked it a
It was
lot?
so good. It was so good. Like I couldn't find anything wrong that I didn't like. I liked the story. I liked the animation.
Uh,
I just loved it.
what would you rate it?
A 9.
A
I
9?
loved it. I loved it, but I think maybe like on a good day for me, no, I'd say 10. I felt some real emotion.
Okay, so
10.
you gave it a 10, like a solid
Just
10?
because a solid 10 just because I actually felt emotion.
Okay. All right. Um, as for me, I liked it. I enjoyed it. I liked the animation. Um, I liked the animation a lot actually. It reminded me of I don't know, it looked a lot like it looked clean, dude. Like the animation looked clean and crisp. I think is the only way to put it.
Yeah.
The story was alright. I feel like I wish I had gone more into certain things, like with how Makia. I had to look stuff up, right? I had to look
Mhm.
stuff up in order to figure out what actually happened. Um, like with how Makia disappeared, right? She got yoinked by Krim. What she was gone for 10 years. She like when she was in prison, she was in prison for 10 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I wish they had gone into that. I wish they had gone into how Makia's mom had died. I wish they had gone into how Ariel met Dita again, or Dita. Yeah, they say it like with an X,
Well,
I think.
they say it in there how they met again.
Well, yeah, but I wish they had like shown it more. Um,
Oh, okay.
I think overall,
I mean,
like I felt emotion watching it. I think the flashbacks are what really killed me while watching it.
oh,
So
yeah.
I'd probably honestly, it's definitely not the best I've ever seen. By far not the worst. I think I'd give it like maybe a solid 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10, and that's just solid, right? On a good and a bad
So
day, I think it's a
so
solid
we'll
8.
just say the average of it is 9 cuz I say 10, you say 8.
Yeah, that is good. So
Okay.
that's what I thought about it personally. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, that's been the podcast, you guys. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.
All right, let's get it out.
Like, okay. Okay. There's some dark undertones. There's rape, which some people may say it didn't happen. Others say it did with Lelia and the prince. I'm in the party that says it definitely happened. Victor, you are
I
for
don't know,
or
man. I still
against
don't think
it
it
happening?
happened.
You okay? Victor doesn't think it happened.
It could have, but it also couldn't have happened.
It could have happened, and then she could have been down with it afterwards.
Yeah.
Something like that, right? All right.
Yeah.
Then there's also death. A lot of death just in a certain part of the movie. A
Yeah.
lot. I mean, there's a lot of death. And then there's the coming to terms with death, like saying goodbye to loved ones. I think that one was, I don't know if it was dark, but there's like a lot of like life lessons, I guess you could say. Maybe not a lot, but there's certain life lessons that you can learn from it.
Hmm.
And then there's the I believe that there's a like racist undertone to the whole thing with how this king and this prince and honestly the people the general population would treat these like Lorf people. I mean, they would treat them differently the moment they found out they were Lorf. Like, and they spoke to them. Not all of them, but they like kind of spoke down to them and called them monsters and stuff like that. So, I think maybe there's some racist undertones. I mean, maybe. I think there was, but there might not have been, and I might be looking too deep into it on that one. Uh, but I think aside from that, there wasn't much else. Is so we went genocide. Did they kill like all the Lorf people?
They had to have.
Because I think they killed all the males, didn't they?
Yeah, because he was like, keep the women
And the children,
and the children, but get rid of everyone else.
and they kill all that resist. So like they essentially, what is it?
It
Genocide?
was
Is that what it was?
genocide, yeah.
And then yeah, so there's some dark undertones. So like I don't know. But yeah, so like with that out of the way, let's talk about the start of the movie. So the start of the movie, the Haribo? What is it, the way they like
Oh,
weave
their like
feelings into
temple.
things? No, no, not the temple, not the temple. The
Um,
ha
I have it. I have it.
they like
Uh,
weave
Hibiol. It's like
Hibiol.
Hibiol.
So I think
It's
Hibiol.
like their temple, right?
No, Hibiol is I don't
Where
know.
they
It might
go and like weave.
no, 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 no. Hibiol is what they're weaving. I think Hibiol for them might be another word for life or story, because when Maquia initially met Ariel, right? And
Hmm.
she like he the guy, what's his name?
Barlow, was that his name?
Barlow
Barlow.
called him a toy, and she's like, no, he's my Hibiol, right?
Hmm.
I was thinking like maybe because they never really go into what Hibiol means, so I'm thinking like it's either he's my life or like he's the purpose for my life or something like that. But it's so weird because no, it's not weird because then they're like some people have shorter hibiols than others, right? And I think that's when they were talking about after the dog died. That
Yeah.
they're like some people had or who was no. No, okay, so that was still in the initial meeting, right? That Barlow said like, yeah, I mean you leave him here and his hibiol will be short. Or something like that. So I think I don't know what it means, but I think maybe it has multiple meanings like life, purpose, and stuff like that. But yeah, the way I think okay, so at the start of the movie you see like Maquia, what is it? Was it Maquia?
Which start are you starting at?
Let's just go with this. Let's just go from start to finish, cause I jumped.
Well,
I jumped fucking like 20
you
minutes or
jumped
something.
forward a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, so let's just
Are you
I'll
talking
say all
when?
that when we get to that. You know what I mean? So let's go from the start of the movie to the end. Let's work our way through it. Whatever we found interesting and stuff. So you go. You take the lead, cuz I'm
Uh,
jumping everywhere, and I we need some
so that's
kind of
fine. That's fine. So the start is Makia, Lelia, and what was that boy's name? Krim,
crim.
right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Crim.
There, aren't they going home? And Lelia goes to her family. Krim goes to his mom, and Makia is just,
Oh yeah.
that's kind of when you find out she's an orphan, right? Like she's by herself, she didn't
Yeah.
have anybody.
Yeah, and I found that interesting that and like late. Okay, well, see, I'm about to jump ahead again, and I need to.
That's fine. That's fine. Just
It's only like 5 minutes ahead, right? I found it interesting that like Lelia jumped into the water, and Makia was like scared. I don't know if maybe she was like scared to take the leap or whatever. But
I
then
think she was scared. Yeah.
you hear Krim say like you don't have to be like her, right? And it kind of gave off this like oh he's not like into her or anything, right? But then later
Mhm.
on you find out that they're over here meeting at night, kind of like what is it? He's kind of like they're
Yeah.
kind of like courting or whatever. Like they're not really there yet, right? They're not at that point where they're like together, but they're getting there.
Like they're
Uh,
still talking.
Yeah, and I felt so bad for her, Makia, when she started crying after she saw that, because it was like at that moment she was truly like alone. You know what I mean? Because it was like
Yeah. Her two friends.
are out
You
here
know
getting
now.
together. When and who
Yeah.
could she get with? Like it sucked, dude. It sucked. And I
Yeah.
guess Lelia is the princess of
Lelia.
because isn't that what they called her when they were gonna wed her and the prince?
Well, because she was going to be the princess. She would have
Oh.
married the prince.
Oh, okay, so um she's
No.
not an actual prince. Okay. And then I found this interesting too. So like back to where they had said goodbye and everything, right? To after they did what I don't know if it was their work for the day or playing around or
Mhm.
whatever. So they said goodbye and um Makia went back into the tower. What is the tower called? I don't know. We'll just
I thought the tower was called the Hibiol.
okay.
Okay.
So Makia goes into her like back to the main temple where they keep all the Hibiol, right? Like I mean, like dude, there's a lot of
Oh
and
yeah.
I guess their memories is I just looked it up and it's like that they use the
Yeah.
Hibiol and the cloth to like preserve memories or something like that.
Yeah, like
So
the stories, because she's crying and the elder's like, well, whenever you're crying, they're crying too. They're crying with you.
the Hibiol.
Yeah.
Okay, well I don't remember that. I mean, you got I probably what is it? Put it in the back burners or whatever it's called.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but yeah, the elder rolled up. What was her name?
The
My
elder. That was her name.
no,
They
she
didn't say her name. They didn't say her name until later when they met Barlow.
Racine. Racine is her name.
Yeah.
Okay, so Racine, the elder, uh, she and I know something between so there's a difference in hair color with Racine and Maquia. So I think maybe as the Lorf grow older, I think their hair might grow a bit like what is it? Faded. Because Racine's hair was like it was a
It
it was
looked,
paler. It was paler, I
yeah,
think
it
is the
looked
way to say it.
whiter.
Yeah. So like I don't know, maybe that had something to do with her age because I don't think it has anything to do with genetics because they didn't really because they're
Go into
very
their
isolated.
backstory.
What is it? Isolationist?
Isolated.
Like no, they didn't like they like that race, the Lorf race, didn't want to like interact with the other races. Like they wanted to stay in their little like it was like this it was America before it started expanding, right? America is very isolationist or something like that. Like we didn't really get involved with anything, which is how they were. Like the Lorf didn't want to have anything to do with these other races. Races. They just wanted to I feel like I'm saying racist, and I'm not trying to say racist. They
You're fine.
didn't. The Lorf
You're
didn't want
fine.
to. The Lorf didn't want anything to do with these other races. Like they just want to chill and do their own thing and like fill out the Hibiol.
Just weave.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And so like that's why I think maybe it's not genetics. Maybe it's like it just happens as they grow older. Like their
Yeah.
hair just gets duller. So I noticed that and I found that interesting. Um, but yeah, so they that happens, right? You know, she goes and she comforts Makia in whatever way she can. I mean, honestly, it sucks for Makia that she doesn't. I want. It sucks that she doesn't have a mom and a dad, but they never really went into how like they died or how they passed.
Yeah.
And I wish they had gone more into that. Um, that would have been nice just to have some sort
Mm.
of backstory. But honestly, it wasn't needed. The backstory
Yeah,
wasn't
I
needed.
agree.
So then this is when are they humans or are they are
Yeah,
they
they're humans.
okay? This is when the humans attack on dragons. What were the dragons called? Um,
Um,
Nagado, Renar,
Renato.
Renato. And Renato is also an ancient race or something like that, a legendary race or something like that. Isn't that what they call? Is that what they
Yeah,
call them?
like they're like legends, like tales.
Okay, yeah. So Renato is like a legend as well. Um, I wonder if they were fire-breathing dragons, cause like they caught on. They didn't go into
They
details
didn't
on what the
do
red eyes disease was.
I th so they said like at some point the red eye kind of like burns them from the inside.
Yeah, but they didn't
And
go
that's
into
like
what it
all they
was.
say. Yeah, I
Like I
know.
remember Lelia, she was speaking to them when uh she was basically imprisoned in the castle. Uh, she was speaking to the dragons or the Renato, and she was like, you guys are dying. You guys are catching this disease because you have all these pent up feelings or whatever it is, all
Oh
this
yeah,
anger.
the emotion.
So I wonder maybe I don't know. Maybe they just like self-destructed. They
Maybe.
just got
Uh, Wait,
maybe it's like an
when I
anxiety attack, like a really bad
Oh
anxiety
no.
attack. You know what I mean?
Oh no. Imagine you're just laying in bed and you have an anxiety attack and next thing you know you're
Catching
burning
on
from the
fire.
inside out.
What is it? Spontaneous combustion? Yeah,
Oh no.
but
So
oh,
so I don't know if you thought the same thing. When I saw the Renato, I
uh-huh.
thought those look like the dragons from Sword Art Online. I think it's the War of the Underworlds.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet.
Or I think they show them in Alicization. Have you seen that one?
Not all of it. You know what they look like to me though? The heads.
Huh.
What are those turtles from Ark? Yeah,
Carbonomies
yeah,
or something.
Cabernet or something like that.
I'll
Yeah,
post a picture of all three of them up so we can see.
that's what I think they look like. Kind of. They
O-
just can fly.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I thought they had like a turtle-like head, to be honest.
They maybe because you haven't seen War of the Underworlds.
Yeah, I need to watch that.
I watched it and I was like, wait, that's the same kind of dragon that they got in War of the Underworlds. Okay.
Maybe it was like the same company that made the animations for him.
Oh yeah,
Cause
they only know one type of dragon.
well, I think maybe they're done. Yeah, that's what it is. And maybe I think that maybe they. See, I want to say, oh, it's because they were done in 3D, but it's not like they can't make a different 3D face. So,
Yeah. But it was probably easier if it was by the same company just to use the model they already have.
yeah. Cause maybe like when they're doing these movies and these animes, maybe they don't go to like what is it?
Like third parties
Well, maybe they do go to third parties, and they just
and
happen
all
to
the
go to
third
the same they just happen to go to the same third party for the
Oh.
3D animations. Um,
Yeah. If not then I, I hate to say it, they need to come up with new dragon.
or they don't look alike, and we're both just tripping.
I
There's
don't
that
think I'm
possibility.
tripping.
So, anyways, right? Anyways, they roll up with these dragons. I guess trying to flex on these people. I don't know why they had to like. They only. How hard can it be to kill those dragons? They really just needed some innovation to take them
It
out.
seemed really easy.
You know what I mean? Like those dragons didn't seem that tough. I've seen
Oh,
Game of Thrones. You know what I mean? Like I know what it takes to take down a dragon. I could take down a dragon. Okay, where were we?
um, we were
Uh
talking about
oh yeah. Okay, it shouldn't be that hard to take them down. Uh, they rolled up on
no.
these dragons. Or I don't even. They might not even be dragons. Can they even breathe fire? Like at that
It
point?
didn't look. It didn't look like they could do anything
They could
except
just
fling their
fly.
tail around.
Yeah, actually, well, they were massive too.
Yeah, maybe they
Cause
just had their, you know, giganticness
yeah,
going for them.
it was the size that scared people, I guess. Cause I mean, okay, we'll go into that later. But yeah, like, um, so they roll up and then they do that order. They issue the order of, hey, kill everyone in here except for the women and children.
Yeah,
Ma-
and if they resist, kill
Resist,
them too.
yeah. Kill them too. Show them what's good. So they did that. I'm interested in knowing what happened to all the women and children. Like, did they imprison them? What did they do?
Yeah, I
You know
don't
what? They
know. They
probably
don't
sold
talk
them
about that.
into
Probably.
slavery or something like that.
They probably sold them to the other nations.
Yeah.
Because they were
Oh,
talking about how they
wait,
need to
no.
keep the nations, like,
In check.
from, I guess, turning on them.
Yeah, no, I don't think they did that. Because the Lorf or whatever was the one thing keeping them kind of like. If they gave them Lorfs, even though they did all that for for their own nation to have Lorfs, I don't. They would defeat the purpose. Because then it's just like, oh well, they're evening up. What is it? Evening up the playing field. Is that the way to say it?
Yeah.
They're like even because it's like, oh well, they have Lorfs too. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I don't know if they. I don't think they sold them to other nations. They probably just kept it within their own nation. They probably just gave them away to like politicians and um, royalty and
Oh,
stuff like
yeah.
that. Or maybe on the bright side, they release them and let them go their own way.
Uh,
But I
uh,
mean, I don't think that's that kind. I don't think that this is that kind of movie. So they
it
take everybody.
was a, it was too much of a dark day for the sun to come through. I don't think that happened.
Yeah, for real, huh? So one of these Ronaldo, what Ronaldo? Ronaldo? Is that what they're called?
Huh?
Ronaldo?
Oh, Renato.
One of these
Yeah, yeah,
Ronaldo
yeah.
catches the red eye disease or something like that. It's red eye disease, I'm pretty sure. It's like pink eye, but worse. And like
Yeah.
they
Oh, Maquia, when she started crying when she saw Krim and Lelia, she started crying and ran into their like temple.
oh yeah, we
So she got stuck in there.
yeah. Like where the temple with all the Hibiol in it. The
Yeah,
orphans
and
and
then that Renato, kind of went
caught the
bad.
disease.
Caught
Yeah.
the disease and smashed through.
Oh, but on the topic of when they were courting each other and stuff like that, I noticed that I don't know, when Makia cried, it seemed like the flowers reacted to her crying.
Yeah,
Did you
I
see
noticed
that?
that too.
So I don't
Yeah.
know if that was like for the anime's purposes, but for the purpose of just being an anime, right? But I also noticed, okay, so Makia cried and all the flowers like let out their little like I don't know, maybe they're seeds. But then at the end of the movie when she cried, you see
Yeah,
that
with the
all the flowers do the
dandelion.
same thing when she cries again. So like maybe it was just a coincidence, but I don't know, man. Like that was
I
pretty.
don't know.
I like that. I like that though, cause it was they were all pretty like it was a the animation was great. Like, I don't know how else to say it. They did great on animating the show. But okay,
Yeah.
Makia runs into the thing. Red eye disease hits the dragon. Um, and the
Was through
dragon,
the temple.
yeah, he busts through that temple, dude. He like breaks that thing. He doesn't break it down, but like might as well have
He
at that
cuts
point.
through it.
Yeah, he cuts through the temple and Makia's trying to run away, and that's when you like really get like an idea of just how big this dragon is, because it's like,
And the temple.
yeah, the temple
Because the
must be
temple
huge to
didn't look
house that
that
thing.
big, and then that dragon was in there, and I thought, Jesus, this thing must be. The temple must be like, 3 times bigger than what I thought it was. Because
Yeah,
this.
for real. Because
Or
from the
five
way,
times.
maybe okay, maybe when we saw when Maki was in the temple with what is her name?
The elder,
Racine? Yeah,
Racine.
Racine. Maybe it was maybe they were like at the tippy top of the temple.
Maybe.
You get what I mean? So that's why like it was
Yeah.
smaller than because I'm assuming that because when Makia ran in, they like locked the temple to protect it.
Yeah.
And I mean,
It
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 did.
could have been angles too. Maybe we just had weird angles, so it looked
Yeah,
smaller.
yeah. Like maybe they're just in this one portion, right? Like in the little
Yeah,
corner.
like a room, just a room.
So
Who
yeah, it
knows?
busts through the temple. It has Hibiol like wrapped around its wings and stuff, and I don't get how it happens, but Maquia somehow gets tangled up in the Hibiol, and so this
Hmm.
dragon flies away with her. Um, I don't even know why the dragon flew away, but it flew away and it took Maquia with it, and then that's when it starts
I
like combusting.
So
You
that's
what?
where it confused me when it had the Hibiol and Maquia on it. Why didn't it start like catching on fire and thinning out before, I guess? Because it was already hot. You know, they say it's already burning from the inside. Why didn't it already catch on fire?
I don't. I don't know. I feel like it had a reaction to the sun as well. Was it the sun that
Well,
was?
didn't they attack at night?
Yeah. See, that's why I'm confused because when it started flying away, it looked like the sun was coming up. Or am I just tripping? I might be
It,
tripping on that one. Because I swear I thought that that's what happened. Was like the sun started coming up and then the dragon started burning.
hmm,
I don't know. Anime timing
I
is
don't
what
know.
that was.
Yeah.
I don't know how she survived the fall. Like, she must have been getting dragged
She's
through
got some
trees.
crazy luck. Cause
Like,
that Hibio basically like held her. What are those? A hammock. Held her like a hammock.
well, I thought she hit the ground. Or was she
No,
like,
she was dangling. She was like wrapped up in the Hibio that was wrapped in the trees.
damn. The fact that she didn't hit one of those trees head on is what saved her
How?
life.
How did she not?
Yeah, I mean that was a thick forest, dude. That forest or whatever they're flying through was thick. You could see it when they
She
were
was
flying
getting
through it.
hit for probably like 5, 10 seconds, right?
A solid 5-10 seconds, at least.
And in anime time, that's
That's forever.
minutes. That's
Like,
30 minutes.
but okay, so she survives somehow, and that's when she first meets Ariel and Barlow.
Barlow.
Barlow the half-dwarf. Half human, half dwarf. I wonder who Barlow's mom is. I got the feeling that Barlow's mom was Racine. I ain't gonna lie, but I don't know. I thought maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know the way that just I don't know. I don't know what it is. I just kind of got that feeling because like
I
Racine
could
is.
see that.
What was Racine told
She was
Maquia?
also talking about like, oh, if you love someone, like love someone else,
You're gonna
and
know
they
true
leave,
loneliness
you'll
or
know,
something.
yeah, you'll know true loneliness.
So like I feel like maybe Racine had something to do with Barlow, but who knows? So they meet. So this is where Maquia meets Ariel, and
His mom is
essentially,
dead.
yeah, it was a Barlow called them a group of vagrants, which is like traveling beggars, I guess is the way to say it. Um, they're kind of like traveling from place to place, just kind of living off of
Whatever, like
whatever they could
scraps,
get.
right?
Yeah. So I guess they got just straight up murdered, and I guess the murderer didn't want to kill the baby.
So
Um,
then, because I was gonna ask that, did Barlow do it or not? Because I mean, why else would he just stick around and
yeah, he was
listen to
just
a baby cry and his dead mom,
yo low
like in
key
her
though. Did
arms?
he kill them?
That's what I'm thinking, right?
What the hell, Barlow? On the real though, I was kind of
So
thinking that right now too. Like maybe Barlow killed them.
yeah, I watched it. Because how else would he know that she died trying to defend her baby? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for real, huh? And I mean, now that you say it, like he did when he initially started talking to Makia, I thought he was the person that killed them.
Me too.
So I don't know why. I don't know why later on I just figured, oh, maybe he didn't kill them. Right?
You're
That's
trying to see the
stupid.
good in them.
That was dumb.
Yeah,
Like
you idiot.
everything's just like, oh, Maki just happened to catch him before he left, and so he's just kind of playing it
Yeah.
off. What the? What the hell, man?
I
Barlow.
mean, that was probably because he was drinking. So what if that, like, what was it? A
What if that was the
little
blood of his
pitcher?
enemies? Oh,
No. What if it was just a pitcher of wine that was there, and he was like, "I'm not gonna let this go to waste."
well, I mean, he was
After he
carrying
just
the
after he
bottle
just
afterwards.
murdered. Yeah. Oh no, man. I'm just saying, doesn't add up.
It does add up. It's just that what the answer it adds up to, I don't know if I want it to be the answer. But I don't care. Barlow isn't that important to begin with. He could be a
Yeah, he's
murderer.
more of like a side main character.
Yeah, he ain't even a main character. He's just a side character. But
Yeah.
Barlow, he travels around too. He delivers what is it? Hibiol, right? He delivers the fabrics or
Does
something
he?
like that. I thought that's what he did. Hold on. I just noticed that Barlow has the same hair color as Racine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think maybe Barlow is Racine's kid. Who knows? Maybe. Okay. Anyways, he was like I'm pretty sure he was a traveling merchant or something like that. Like he did work for Racine.
Yeah, merchant. That's what I
So
thought he was too.
I don't know what he does. I think he delivers something for Racine. He does something for Racine. Um, but this is where Maquia and Ariel meet, and essentially Maquia adopts Ariel.
Yeah.
She really had to pry Ariel out of his mom's cold dead
She
hands.
had to.
Yeah, atrophy or whatever the heck it's called
And
started.
I was like, damn,
It sounded like she was breaking
that's
her fingers,
crazy.
dude.
Yeah.
Like, come on, Maquia, put some respect on her name. Just move her arm. You don't gotta break her fingers. Damn, what's wrong with you?
Let me just break your fingers and take your baby.
Yeah, for real. But okay, you take it from here. We're at
So she just gets Ariel, and well, she's like trying to go around, right? I guess trying to just kind of wandering, right?
is
And
she? Oh
then
yeah, yeah.
they
She's wandering around trying to like
then they
just
pull
trying to
up
survive.
to yeah, she's trying to make sure they're fine. Then she pulls up to what the fuck is the mom's name?
Mido?
Is it? Oh, probably Mito.
Mido. Mido. Anyways.
They Maquia and Ariel get to Mito's house,
Mhm.
and their dog starts barking at them because they're in the barn. Mito peeks through the window and sees Maquia holding Ariel up to a goat boob, like the goat udder.
Utters that ass.
Still a boob.
the teat. Hoping that
Yeah,
she can.
holding Ariel up to the teat,
And you
hoping
just
he would get some milk.
and you just hear Ariel slapping the freaking goat's teat, dude. That's what killed me.
Yeah. I felt bad for her because she was like, I don't know where it is.
Like, what do you? Oh, that just kind of goes to show how like
How young, right? How
I would
young
think
she
more
is,
so how
or how,
isolated they were, dude.
yeah.
What do you mean you've never seen a how can you? Here's my thing. How does she know that this? And it doesn't make sense. How does she know that that goat will give Ariel milk, but she doesn't know where to find the milk?
I don't know.
You get what I mean?
Now you're asking questions I don't want to get into.
You get what I mean, though. It doesn't make sense. Like, why?
It
What
doesn't.
do you mean you're gonna approach this goat and obviously maybe it was a thing. Maybe it was like a
Maybe
mistranslation.
maybe it
Maybe it
was
meant like
like how you said on how Barlow's a merchant, so maybe they had like some goat milk there. So she knows. So maybe that's how she knows. Okay, goats give milk, but
uh
how?
yeah, maybe it was something with the translation where it's not so much you can't find the boob, but you can't figure out how to milk the boob, the
Yeah.
teat. So, anyways,
So,
uh,
anyways, Mito finally brings them in inside their house, right? And Makia is really she seems really protective over this little baby she just found.
Oh yeah, he doesn't have a name yet.
Doesn't have a name yet,
He's just
and
baby.
just a baby. But every
Mm,
name she came up with, her kids,
bro,
Mito's
they're
kids were
hating on
like,
it.
they're like, that's a girl's name.
Well, I mean the
That's a
first
weird
name.
name.
What was the first name she gave him?
Lelia. She wanted to name it after her friend Lelia.
Yeah, that. Come on now. Even Ariel is a. Well, here where I'm from, Ariel is the name of a mermaid. So that even that's a pretty feminine name.
Yeah.
She could have named him like I don't know, Eric.
Albert.
Yeah, just something. Some with a little bit,
Alex, you
some of the,
know.
some with a little bit more masculine, like what is it? Masculine aggression or whatever it is.
Yeah, I mean, there's Barlow, there's Lang. Like, come on. You
Why didn't
couldn't
she
come up
think
with
to
the
name
man's
him
name?
Crib?
Fuck Krim.
Yeah, yeah, for real, fuck Crib.
Krim probably broke her heart. Probably.
She
You
might have
know
been
he
in love
broke
with
her
Crib,
heart. Yeah, exactly.
and that's why she started crying, huh? Nah, I
Uh-huh.
think it's because she realized she was truly alone. But who
Me
knows?
too,
Maybe she
though.
had. Who
That's
knows?
what I
Maybe she.
actually think, but just for this reason, Krim probably broke her heart.
Yeah. So fuck Crib.
Yeah,
But they
fuck
settled.
Krim.
They settled on Ariel after all the hassling from the kids, from Lang and Easel, or who is it?
I think it was Easel. Lang a deal. Deal?
Deal.
Yeah, Deal. That was his name.
Oh, the kid.
Yeah. So Mito is Lang and Deal's mom. Lang is the older brother to Deal.
Okay. Dio or Deal?
Diol.
Okay, Deal. Okay. Uh, yeah, Deal and Lang were just giving her shit the entire time that she's trying to name her. I was thinking like, dude, I was thinking, Mito, pull your like, take just shut up. You know what I'm saying? Like, just tell him to
Well,
shut up.
she basically did that when she gave him the death stare. You know that stare moms give? Like,
Yeah,
hey, you keep at it,
you
you
get
know, you
you
get
get
your ass
corporal
whooped.
you get corporal punishment. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
no, I know that all too well.
Because
Anyways,
they ran away.
no, they stayed, didn't they? They never
No,
ran.
they left. After she gave him that look, they left, boy. They got out of there. Because they were
Okay,
just looking from the inside. They were looking from the outside. My bad.
yeah, yeah, those little
So,
bitches talking
so,
shit from the outside of the
so
house.
anyway,
How about they walk their ass inside the house, see what happens? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you better stay the fuck outside, talking that shit, talk all that
yeah.
bullshit. Poor girl's
So,
out here,
so,
15 years old, raising a kid. What the fuck
how
you
old was
doing?
she?
She said she was 15. Oh, okay, so she said she was 15, but that might have been a lie.
Oh,
Matter
I
of
get.
fact, I
Wait,
think it was a
no.
lie.
When we first meet her, it says here 15, and then when I'll I'll tell her age when we get to that point. So she's 15 in the beginning.
Is she though? Is she really
Yeah,
15?
and Mito. Oh, what's Mito? Why did she take Maquia into the town? Was it just to
To
get
get her
stuff? Was it
to get her a job.
get her a job? Okay.
Yeah, because
So,
Mito decided that it was okay for them to live with her. She's gonna help
yeah.
her essentially, and well, she needed a job, obviously,
Yeah.
and so she went to he was like some kind of fabric sellers. Maybe he was selling blankets or something. I don't know what he was selling,
He
but
sold stuff.
he sold stuff, and she basically told her like, "Hey, this person knows how to weave really well." And then the guy right away knew that she was a Lorf.
Yeah,
He
he
was
was
like,
like, "Oh, you're from Hibiol." right? Like over there.
No,
Yeah,
I don't
cause,
think he said she's some
cause he,
Hibiol.
well, she walked out, and he was like, "Oh, she knows how to do the Hibiol." She was like, "Oh yeah,
Yeah, and she's a lore,
yeah."
and then she's
Well,
like,
so he knew
she and Mito has told him, what was it?
she was a relative's sister, something like that.
No, Mito told, no, was it no? Mito told him or asked. I think it was Mito asked him like, "Are you gonna what is it? Turn her in or tell people or something like that?" And he said no. Like, um, these Hibiol or these cloths or whatever that are made by Lorfs are worth money. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
I guess
That'd be good for business.
yeah. So that's what basically kept her from being ousted. Keep her from being exposed, her identity
Yes.
exposed from the rest of the town. Because I mean, once they find out, like later on, once they kind of slowly figure out that she's a Lorf, you could tell like they don't really fuck with the idea of her, because like you could see them like kind of giving her dirty looks and stuff, like through the
Yeah, from their
windows and
windows. Yeah.
like just kind of from behind her and stuff like that. So that's why I said there might be some kind of racism going on. Because the moment they found out she was a Lorf, they started treating her differently. Like why? Like what did she do?
Why don't they like Lorfs?
Right? I
They
mean,
didn't explain that.
in what world would a guy dislike a woman that never ages? Like if I could get okay,
Yeah.
if I could get with Rancine, dude, Rancine was beautiful. She looked like she was in her 20s, and this lady was 400 or something years old.
Mhm.
Now you're gonna tell me, as another man, you ain't into that? A girl that never
I'm
ages like
into it.
that?
Boy, I'm into it. Boy.
Like I can understand like, but okay. Anyways, yeah, like they had some oh, like I don't know why they disliked the Lorf. There's no. It didn't seem like there's maybe they thought the Lorf were kind of on a high horse or something because they didn't really want to get involved with anyone. Who
I
knows,
mean,
dude?
they knew that they all they did was weave. That was all they did. So it didn't make sense. Like, oh yeah, look at this. Look at these people on their high horse just weaving, not
Right?
interacting with us
You know what I think it's kind of like,
normies.
and I think
Huh.
this might be a bit like, but it's kind of like how you know how in North Korea they educate the North Koreans to really hate us Americans? Like,
I didn't know that.
yeah, there's a lot of propaganda in North Korea that makes like Americans look horrible. And so these when people like what is defect from North Korea and they escape from it, they're always surprised by how different Americans are in comparison
Hmm.
to what they've been told. So maybe that's what it is, and maybe they're still like they still have this like stigma towards Lorf because they don't really interact with each other, so they just kind of like
Yeah.
look at them and they're like, ugh, I hate you.
Oh look, a Lorf. Ugh.
Yeah, ugh. Look at this beautiful person.
How dare you? How dare you look 20 when you're actually 6,000? You know?
Yeah, how dare you? Well, anyways, yeah, they start
Yeah.
catching on. They start catching on to how old she
Maquia.
is, or
Or I'd say where
who
she's
she is.
from.
Yeah, where
Like what
she's
she
from, who
actually
she
is.
is. And so Ariel's already kind of grown to the age of 10.
What? Which part? Wait, which part are you talking about?
Well, at that point where they're
Cause
looking at her
so
through the windows and stuff. Oh, well, okay, we skipped. That's why. Because they got her a job, and then it just kind of did like a little
it was like kind of
a
like a time
compilation
lapse, kind of,
time
right?
lapse. Yeah, they did a little time lapse, little moments with the family and stuff, and this is where their dog dies, and that's when
So
that
I think before that part, cause uh, Ariel, he was still a baby, and then later it's kind of in that compilation of like them getting older. You'll see Lang and Deal with Maquia and Ariel trying to, like on the bridge, like waiting for him to walk.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So at when she's waiting for him to walk, she's around 21,
Oh.
right? So and then I felt kind of bad for her because she was like, I'm not really your mom. I'm just kind of stepping into this role.
Uh-huh.
But once the baby called her mama, I liked how you tell like she felt better, right?
Yeah.
Like she seemed more not I wouldn't say secure, maybe comfortable with what she was doing, like how like raising them.
Yeah, 'cause what happened that she got in that mentality? What some did somebody say something to her?
Um I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of moments where she just remembers, oh, I'm not actually his mom,
Uh-huh.
you
But
know.
it shows us him like growing up and then her that moment where he finally calls her mama and
That part was so cute, dude. I ain't gonna lie.
yeah, that was pretty cute. The whole
'Cause
movie was pretty the
she
whole
was like,
movie
oh, do it again. She's so excited.
like the whole movie from when she met Ariel to like before Ariel was a teenager was like full of cute moments, in my
Oh
opinion.
yeah.
All that was like nice and like sun is shining, the flowers are blooming, birds are chirping, and
Mhm.
then later on it gets dark again. But yeah, that's when Ariel's first so like after he called her mama, it like sped up again to where he was finally running around and stuff. And that's when
Mhm.
Ariel had his first like encounter or like experience with losing a loved one with a dog's death and how like he was like how he was
How he
asking
kind of learns everyone doesn't live forever.
yeah and then how he asked like Mido like and I felt sad watching it because he's like how am I gonna play with him if he's under all that dirt.
Yeah.
I was like oh
When how can I visit him? She's like, well, you can visit him right here. Well,
like
how can I play with him? Well,
oh
you play with him right here.
like like Ariel you fool he's dead. But yeah that kind of I don't know
But I like how
that is
they
like
did. I like how they did recognize, like, okay, she's a Lorf and she knows it because he goes, well, is my mom gonna eventually die? And she said, well, yeah. When really Makia would outlive Ariel.
yeah because
So
of her being a woman.
I think that kind of put her back in the realization, like,
I'm not.
he's
I'm
gonna die
never.
before me.
Yeah, and she cried because of that, didn't she?
Yeah.
She started crying when she heard that. But I think okay. Before that, I really liked how Ariel made a blanket for the dog before he died because he heard that he was sick. And so it's always
Oh,
interesting,
mm-hmm.
like how they made it to where they can read the blankets, right? Because it's not like there's letters or anything in the blankets. It's more so they're just like
The color patterns.
it's like feelings, I would say more so because they say it's memories, right?
Yeah.
But like, how are they expressing these memories? And I reckon it's something like with feelings or something because they say it's memories, right? But then what is Ariel putting into this blanket that's gonna make this dog feel better? Because he's saying
Prob.
I think it's more so like feelings. 'Cause he's like I'm hoping that this helps him get better. Like I'm gonna make it to where it makes him better or whatever, right? Recovers or
Yeah.
whatever. So I think it more so has to do with feelings than anything else. Because then later on, Ariel also gets a message to these Hibiol through a Hibiol saying like, "Hey, the prince is gonna be wed to a Lorf girl, right?" So I think it has some to do with feelings more than anything else. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that was when Ariel had his first like encounter with death or whatever. and that's when Maki also realized that she was going to be alive long after Ariel died, and so she kind of had like a, what was it? Not a panic attack, but she kind of broke
Let's say
down.
like a yeah, yeah. It was like an episode,
Yeah, an episode, a family
and
moment.
then Lang. That's when Lang told her like, because he
Hey,
ran after
girl.
her.
Oh,
He
sorry.
was like, "Hey, moms don't cry.
Yeah, I
Moms are
thought that was.
strong."
Yeah, then he tapped his stomach or whatever.
Yeah,
I thought that was cute. Moms are
yeah, me
like,
too.
he's like, moms are like, and he just slapped his stomach, and I was like,
Yeah,
that doesn't make sense, but it makes sense. Like, I get what you're trying, like,
yeah.
I don't get what you're trying to say, but I definitely
I
understand.
get it.
Yeah, like,
I don't, but I do.
because I feel like for some reason I feel like I've seen that in anime, like in other anime before, where the moms like slap their stomach and stuff
Yeah, I've seen it too.
to like
I don't
kind of
remember where, but I remember seeing like,
like they put their arms to their side and then they slap their stomach, or they slap their stomach and then they
yeah,
put their arms to their side.
yeah,
So like I don't get it, but like I get it. It's I was thinking about my mom when they did that too for some weird reason. I was like that makes sense. Like understood. That's definitely how mom. I think I don't know. It has to do. Maybe it's like sign language or something. Probably not. You know sign language. So who knows? I don't
yeah. I don't know that sign, man.
know. But yeah. So she went. Did she? Oh, she never. She. I don't think she went back. Yeah, he says moms don't cry, and they slap their stomach, and then she like walks back home or so. Cause I don't think she went back to the funeral for the dog.
No,
She
it kind
like
of like cut to a different scene.
it cut to a different scene of her going back to her house, to the house that she's living at, and with Mido or Mido.
Well,
And
that isn't that when she gets word and Mito's like, oh, I don't remember his name, but the guy Makio basically works for has a
Lang?
boat going
Oh yeah.
to the town, and he can get you on there. So she goes, her and Ariel go, and that's when they bump into Krem.
Oh yeah, cause she needed to go because they're kind of catching on to her being a Lorf.
Yeah.
Oh, I think she
Well,
had to
no,
hide her identity.
I think she wanted to go so she could see Lelia. I don't think it was
Oh,
because she was a
cause
Lorf.
she
I
got
think she
that
wanted to go so she
message.
could see her friend. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. I was on because I
So,
was like, oh, that's why. Maybe she had to hide her identity because they, you know, that kingdom that she was at, that little empire, that nation, raided the
mhm.
Lorf's nation. So maybe so essentially she was on the run. So naturally she would have to stay hidden because she dyed her hair and everything. So I figured, oh, they're kind of catching on that she's not aging. Maybe that's why she has to
Yeah.
leave. Maybe that also played a part into her being like, okay, well, but then that wouldn't make sense. Because it's
Yeah,
like,
so
well, if you're
I'm
running
pretty
away, why are you
sure.
going to the kingdom?
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure when she found out the prince was marrying a Lorf, she wanted to go and see if
Who
it
it
was
was.
Lelia, her
Yeah.
friend, or it could have been Racine the Elder.
So they
So she's
went.
on the boat and she meets Krim, and he's like, "Okay, well, no, there's actually a bunch of us, right? Not a bunch, but like a
There's a
good little
couple.
group of them."
There's a handful of us. And
Yeah.
watching this made me mad. Watching these scenes made me mad. Because I was like, because of the way she's treating Ariel. I was just thinking like,
Yeah.
what a piece of shit. Like you do all of this, and you're gonna let this random guy. He's not random, but you're gonna let some guy that you haven't seen in years
In 6 years.
talk. He basically talked down to her for
Yeah.
having Ariel with her,
Yeah,
and
because he
you're
was
just
like,
gonna
"Oh,
go with it.
you haven't forgotten."
What Racine told you.
Yeah, and she was like, "No, of course not." He was like, "Well, that's all that matters."
It's like no.
But I do like how Ariel did say something. He was like, "You're not mom when you're here."
Yeah, and I knew that, and I felt that when he said that. I was like, that's so true, man. Like even though he's just a little kid, he knows when she's acting different.
Yeah.
And I don't know, that was like a really, for me, that was hard to watch. Not because like it was a bad scene or anything, but just because like I don't know, dude, it felt so real. Oh, I also okay. So on the lighter side, I found it really cute how she handled the situation with him like being kind of depressed that she was kind of being a hoe. Um,
Oh yeah, me too. When
which
he's
is like
laying
the
in bed
bugs
and
go
she's
wiggle or
like,
whatever it was.
"Ah, dude, so cute,
Yeah. Oh, and then it pissed me off that so
so
she
cute."
she gets to the town and they're doing all this planning or whatever, and they go through with their plan to save the princess, and that's when they found out that
She
Lelia
was
was,
pregnant.
yeah, she got pregnant with the prince's baby. And man, when I watched it, I messaged you and I told you, yeah, Krim just got cucked, boy, cause I
Yeah.
did like. Honestly, I never really liked Krim to begin with, but you
Me
gotta feel it.
either.
You gotta feel for him, dude. Like he went out of his way to try and save this girl.
That he loved, right? Like you could
Yeah,
tell he loved her. Just
just to
for her to be
find out.
pregnant by some other man.
And not just some other man, the son of the king that ordered your nation to be exterminated or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, dude,
Hey,
hey,
hey, couldn't be me, you know.
yeah, yeah, sucks to suck, you know what I mean? And hey, he sucked, and so did she, you know what I'm saying?
So,
Okay, cut.
so they find out that I'm leaving it. Lelia or Maquia found out Lelia was pregnant, and the guards come. Right?
Yeah,
He's like,
this is he's.
go and get
Yeah,
Easel was
Isol.
like, go after him.
And she's like, if you touch it, this is when
If
Layla
you,
like stood up
she's like,
for
yeah, she pulled.
Makia.
What is that? A pen?
It looked like a hairpin or something like that.
She pulls this hairpin out of.
But one of those
She pulls it
decorative
out.
hairpins, not one of those
Yeah,
regular old hairpins that you like. What is it? Clip. Not one
and
of those. It was
yeah,
like an actual like pin
and
for
she
the
holds it
baby.
up to I guess where the I
Baby
guess her
is.
womb, right where her baby is.
Hmm.
I was like, well, if you touch them, basically saying she'll, you know,
Kill the baby
kill the baby.
and maybe
So
herself.
yes. Oh, that's when Barlow comes back into scene because he cuts the flags and grabs Maquia and runs.
That was Barlow.
That was Barlow.
Oh, I thought that was Krim.
You think Krim doing some sick shit like that?
Wait, that was seriously Barlow that did that?
That
I
was
didn't
Barlow
notice.
because remember how they after that they were
They
kind
were
of
together,
in that
yeah.
store. They were in that store and it had the cloths draping down, and he was like, "Well, try to keep your." He was like, "Oh, we'll meet again, but you know I'm leaving now, so try
It
and
was
keep
a
yourself
more.
out of trouble."
It was more like a little stand, if anything, because it wasn't much of a store. It
Yeah,
was like a little. What is it? Yeah, but I
maybe a
didn't know that was
store.
Barlow.
Yeah, that was Barlow.
Okay.
Then
Damn,
after
Barlow
that,
was
I
pretty.
think it.
Okay, but hold on. He might have been he might be the person that killed Ariel's parents, though. So like,
Hey, you know what? He's still pretty cool though.
yeah, that was pretty sick what he did. He
Yeah,
he showed those flags.
yeah, he did.
I wonder how those things must have weighed a lot. If if
Oh
they knocked them
yeah.
down, that must have been some heavy fabric. Barlow saves her.
So
They have that conversation, and this is. Oh, okay. So then she goes back to the little base of operations that the Lorf had to save Lelia, right?
mhm.
And she's sleeping, and then she gets a little message on a Hibiol. She gets a message on a Hibiol, would that be considered a Hibiol?
Oh, she gets a message.
She
I
gets a
don't know. I
message
don't
on
know
a
if
piece.
you'd
She gets a
say,
message on a piece of cloth, is what we'll say at this
yeah,
point. And if it's a Hibiol, it's a Hibiol. I don't know. Saying like she can't help them because she
because she has the kid.
Ariel like
Yeah,
she has two what is it?
she has responsibility basically,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, and they're like
Because they were going to the castle, weren't right? Weren't they going to the castle to get Lelia?
yeah, they weren't they may have failed that first mission, but they weren't done. So they did the first mission and they failed. Well, they succeeded. They would have gotten the first mission done had Lelia gone with Maquia, but Lelia's pregnant with the prince's baby. So, yeah. So, I guess they're doing a second mission to
To get
force
her from the.
Lelia to come? I guess?
Was it?
Well, I mean, because I thought Maquia told Krim, like, hey, she's pregnant. Like, she's not. And he still was trying to, like, quote unquote save her. Even though Lelia already
Hmm.
made her decision.
Yeah.
But also, I think Lelia didn't. I think Lelia wanted to go, but it was more so like out of shame that she didn't want it. That she didn't want to go,
Yeah. I could see that.
cause like, I guess, hey, it sucks, man. Like it sucks. Like,
Yeah.
Krim sucks to suck, man. But yeah, so they went to go do that second mission, and they found that Maquia wasn't up to the task. Is that the way to say it?
She couldn't. I
Yeah,
wouldn't
she
say,
couldn't.
because I'm sure if they asked her, she would have done it.
They had what is it? She had conflicting yeah, actually
Oh.
what you just said. She could have done it, but they felt like she couldn't do it.
Yeah.
If anything, they're kind of being nice to her.
Mm-hmm.
And so then she's like, "All right, whatever." Not like that, right? She didn't just shake it
She
off.
kind of just went on with what she was gonna do with
She went on with it.
herself and Ariel.
Yeah, she tried finding a job, and this scene also pissed me off. So like she couldn't find a job, and so she comes back, and
Oh, and he makes that. What is that? What is that called? A loom?
I think it's a loom. Yeah, I think you're right. Or is it?
He makes a loom. Okay, so Makia walks into their hotel room, right? And there's Ariel. He made himself a little loom,
Did he
right? I
make the
guess.
loom?
Yeah.
Or
How
did
else is
he
he
just
gonna get?
make?
They don't really have money.
Yeah, but how the hell did he make a loom?
I mean, he
It
grew
was
up
kind of
around it,
scuffed.
so
It
I
was
think
kind
it
of
kind of
scuffed
makes.
though.
Yeah. So I think just for him being how old he
Yeah, it's pretty genius actually.
is pretty smart.
And I think the
So,
loom was. So he made a loom so he could make a message for Makia, his mom,
mhm.
basically. And she got pissed that he made the loom, I guess.
And
What is
she
she?
was just talking bad about him. Why would you
Yeah.
do that?
Why can't you
You
give me a
know,
break or
why
whatever?
can't you just listen to what I say?
He did
Oh,
listen to
jeez.
what she said. She
This
said,
is like
"Stay here,
I'm getting
please."
I'm getting flashbacks from all the shit my mom said. Why don't you just listen? If you listen to me in the first place.
But anyways, yeah, she got mad and um
He ran away.
yeah, he skedaddled.
Just for, yeah.
And
And
then
I
she
thought, how stupid are you, Makia, that you tripped on this little ass loom?
and
I
now you
think once she tripped, though, she kind of had the realization, like, oh shit, what'd I just do?
no, it wasn't after the trip, it was after she read what was on the on the Hibiol that he was making that she realized that she messed up, I thought. Cuz I think it said I love my mom. I think is what the thing said. And that's when she's like, "Oh shit." Oh, and then she got up and ran and tripped. Is that what happened?
Maybe.
Because I remember
That
her
one
reading
sounds
it,
right.
and so she got all worried trying to find him. I thought he was gonna die. I thought he
Me too.
when I saw him
Because it was
sitting on top of
raining?
that. Yep. When I saw him, okay. So there's two possibilities. One, I thought he was like I thought he got yoinked off the streets by
Yeah.
some random freak. Two, after she found him with his clothes taken off, uh, and she turned around to see him on the Okay,
Oh,
so
okay.
they look like battlements, is what he was standing on. They look like a battlement. right? I
Mm-hmm.
guess is the best because it was thick and stuff. And when he was standing on it, I for sure thought he was gonna fall in the water.
Oh, me too.
And then they did that whole tease where like he was like, "Oh," you know what I mean? He almost fell. I honestly, I was like, he's done. It's
He's a
raining.
goner.
It's done. Like he's gonna fall in that
Yeah.
water, and God
And
knows she never taught him how to swim, so he's about to
my
fall in that
my
water
thing
and
was
drown.
she's gonna find him like running, right? And she's gonna find him by
Face
him screaming because he's fallen in the water and he's like, drowning and getting pushed downstream.
or like she's gonna find him like face down somewhere.
Yeah.
That was a worry, right? I was worried that something bad was gonna happen to him.
Me too.
Okay, yeah, but I
Ariel
thought
getting swept away.
she was gonna find Ariel dead.
Yeah, me too.
But she didn't, and they reconciled. I think is the way to put it.
Hmm.
Um, and then fast forwarded again. It did another
Yeah,
time skip.
so now she's working. Maquia is working in. Would you say call it a like a
A
bar?
bar, yeah, like a tavern.
So at this point, she's around 30, and at this point, Ariel already knows Maquia is not his real mom,
Yeah,
and
and he's
Ariel's
a teenager, isn't he?
yeah,
So he's going through some phases, and I don't think he's sure about what his feelings are either, from the things that
yeah,
happened during this
yeah.
little portion. I honestly thought it was gonna take a turn.
Oh,
I
me
I
too.
thought some freak shit was gonna start happening. If I'm gonna be
I
honest,
did too.
like I was okay. So the I don't the way they treated her in the tavern was kind of messed up. Like now one guy just straight up slapped her ass. Let's just yeah, they didn't treat her well. They slapped her ass and stuff. They were sexualizing her. You gotta remember she
Oh
looks
yeah.
young too. Like these people were on some stuff. Um, yeah, they did all
So
that. The way they treated her was bad, and
and you could tell Ariel. I don't. It seemed like Ariel just didn't want anything to do with Maquia,
yeah, because there's like
and that
rumors
part
going
kind of
around.
broke my heart.
Here's
That
my
they
thing.
eloped.
Yeah, it's like how are these rumors gonna be going around, and yet these people are still gonna be treating her like that?
Yeah, they don't care.
Um.
I don't think any of them give a fuck.
Oh, but then you see Lang show up again.
Lang, yeah. He's this
Lang,
tall, dapper man. He's joined the army.
he's joined yeah the Knights or whatever the hell they're called. He's and we're gonna skip ahead, right? But like he um he essentially tells Makia like, hey, uh, was this before or after he found out that they were looking for another
After.
Lorf? So like we're gonna skip a little bit. So
So
Lelia, we're gonna skip to when Lelia's in the room, right? Because of course they meet Lang and they reconcile, not reconcile, but they like catch up and stuff, right? So we're gonna skip to the part where Lelia's into in. It kind of shows us how Lelia not has been, but like how Lelia her
he's
current
doing.
situation is. Yeah. So like
She's kind
Lelia's
of like imprisoned, right?
yeah, dude, that's what she is.
She
She's a prisoner.
she the king said there's a scene with the king and he says, "Well, we need to find another Lorf because basically Lelia hasn't
Gotten
produced a
pregnant.
male."
Yeah, and they're trying, but she's not able to get pregnant.
That the prince doesn't want to, sleep with her anymore.
Now, my question is, when they
He's
say
kind of
sleep,
tired
is
of
it like sex or is it like sleep in the same
that.
bed?
Probably
Is it?
both.
I don't think he sleeps in the same bed with her.
That's why I
So
said probably both because he doesn't want to have sex with her. He doesn't want
what is his problem?
to. He's stupid.
Like, why is he such a douche? I don't. But then, yeah, her mental state is horrible, dude. Like, she's like there, because then it skips, it goes to where she's at, right? And she's there asking if she can see her daughter. And
Yeah, all she wants to do is see her daughter that's basically been taken away from her.
mhm.
And you feel bad for her because she's like, I don't even remember what she smells like anymore or what her hugs feel like.
And she just
So
kind of flips when they tell her no.
yeah. So
And then Easel shows up. Easel's the knight captain or the general or whatever that rolled up when they initially invaded the Lorf's
yeah,
homeland. And so Easel, I guess, tried calming her down. I get the feeling Easel definitely. I feel like he had sex with her.
I I get that too.
You got that
I also
vibe too,
feel yeah, I also feel like he probably actually liked her.
right?
I mean, I'm pretty sure he was spending a bunch of time with her, like besides like protection and
So yeah,
so
she begged Easel to like let her see her kid, but I don't. She never. They never let her see him. See
yeah,
what was her name?
Medimel.
Medmel, which is her daughter's name. They never let her see Medmel until the end
We
of the anime.
we see like little scenes with Medimel,
We
and
saw like
and
two
it seems
scenes with
like
her.
each of those scenes, she's where's my mom, or where's my dad? Oh, that's right. And then she just kind of went on with what she was doing.
Well, it's because the prince doesn't like either. Doesn't
Yeah,
like
it could.
Lelia or her daughter or his daughter
Yeah. So okay,
because
I'm
they're
gonna.
dwarves.
Okay.
So after we see that, right, with the whole Lelia and her child and everything, it goes back to Ariel and Maquia, and Ariel, I guess for the first time he's drinking, right, and so like he comes back home drunk, and he tries to kiss Maquia, and I'm assuming he was trying to have sex with her at this point. Um, I think he was just confused with his own feelings um, about Maquia, right? I mean,
Yeah.
she's beautiful, like, and he found out she's not his mom, and you have all these other people thinking that they're together in a sexual way. So like, I guess he just kind of went with the flow, like he was drunk. You know what I mean? And that's when he told her that he hated, or he told her that she wasn't his mom, and like
You
she
feel
broke
bad. You
down.
feel bad for her.
Yeah, she broke down. She started crying after she heard that, and then it skips to the next day, right? Like, and he sees Lang, and he's like, "Can you help me get into the knights or the military, or whatever?" And Lang starts asking him like, "Why do you need that? This and that?" And he starts explaining to Lang. I don't remember everything that he said, but towards the end, he kind of like let out his true feelings of like, "Yeah, I can't protect Makia like this. Like I can't protect anyone. I can't, or something like that. Like I can't protect myself." Something like that, right? And he starts breaking down. And then I don't. This is where I'm confused because then, uh, what was it during? Was it at that point where he's like, "I'm going to be a father," or was it later after he's already joined the knights that he said that?
I think it was. I think it was at that time.
That he said Maki is something mother, right? Something mother, and then he's like, "I'm going to learn how to be a father."
Yeah.
So I was confused about that. Like, what does that mean? What did he mean by that? And I don't. I mean, we don't have to discuss it, right? But I was just a little bit confused. Like, I thought maybe he's trying to say that so that he could be with Makia. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
To get with her. And so that's then we get to um, it goes back to Makia in their little like apartment is what it kind of looks like. It's like a little shack apartment, and somebody breaks into their apartment and yoinks Makia, and so
Hmm.
they yoink Makia, and then it does a 10-year time skip.
Yeah.
So for 10 years, we find out that Makia's been imprisoned by I don't know if they were I don't know where they were if it was a different country that enslaved, like, jailed her or imprisoned her. I don't know where she was imprisoned. I have no idea, right? But
So
they
she must
imprisoned.
have still been in Mezart, right?
I don't know, dude. I don't know. I have no
Because it
idea.
didn't look like they were out of Mezart.
So,
Looked like they're in the same spot.
well, she was in prison for
Cause,
10 years, regardless, right? Because
uh-huh.
I, what do you mean because? Because what?
Because it was during the war, right? Because didn't there
No, the war. There wasn't a war yet, or maybe there was like a
there
kind of like
was that war because
skirmishes.
Maquia, that's when she's running through the forest with Krim on their horse gets shot, and they both fall, and Maquia runs into Ariel, and she sees that he's a knight. No?
See, because then I don't know if they were in Mezart, but I think if I don't know if I'm correct on this, but I think for some reason, um, I think Krem took her to one of the other nations,
Okay.
and so that's when I don't know, dude. I don't know on this one, and I'm trying to wrap my head around it because I remember some of the dialogue, and I think he said something about being in the other nation or allying with the other nations or something like that. But uh, oh, and how the other now that the other nations had a lore for something that they were gonna ally together and attack Mezart or whatever. I don't remember. I don't remember. But she was in prison for 10 years, and in this 10 year time skip, they who was it? Ariel and Dita got together. Dita was this girl that bullied Ariel because he loved his mom. But yeah, Dita was
Okay.
just a little shit, and so they ended up getting. Ariel went back to what was the town?
Mezart.
Mezart. Mezart was a town
Yeah.
that Mito lived in, or they
Oh,
probably never said the
their
town's name.
their hometown.
Yeah, they okay. So uh, Ariel went back to where Mito's house was, right? That little town, and he got together with Dita, and again he ended up bringing Dita back to the kingdom. I get Mezart, right?
Hmm.
And he ended up
No, the farm their farm is Helm Ranch. I would assume Helm, right?
okay. So he took Dita out from Helm and took her back to Mezart, and he got her pregnant. Something like that, right?
Well, Dita went to Mezart for work.
And then they met up,
Dita met Ariel by coincidence,
and then he got her
and
pregnant.
yeah,
Sounds about right.
yeah,
And so at this point, they're so all throughout the movie, the what are they? Ronaldos?
Renatas,
Yeah. So at this point, throughout the entire movie, the
Renato.
Ronaldos have been dying. Like they've been dying to the red eye disease slowly. Because I mean, they have these things like locked up, like really locked up. Like they got like muzzles on their faces, and then they got um, it's not a ball and chain, but they got like shackles on their
Yeah.
legs and stuff. And so because of that, they're kind of what is it? They're losing influence, right? Because I'm assuming that other nations have spies in Mizar, right?
Oh yeah.
Obviously. So I'm assuming that these spies, if they do have them, they're like, yeah, I mean, they only have one Ronaldo left. And so because I a lot of because okay, Mizart has not only one legend but two legends, right? They got the Iorph and the Ronaldos. These other weaker nations, right, that have kind of been like dealing with the Mizart shit, were like, nah, you know what? F it. We're
It's our
gonna.
time.
It's our time, baby. So like they I guess they formed an alliance, and you just see all these ships like just kind of it was like a solid 9 ships. It wasn't that many actually if you think about it.
Yeah.
It was like nine
It's probably
ships.
like 5.
Nah, I think it was like 9. It would go it was like 5 to 9 ships. They just rolled up and they just They had like at least 100 cannons though. Honestly, because I
Oh
mean, in
yeah,
one ship it was like 20 cannons, like in the front.
yeah,
You
they
know what I
had a
mean?
bunch.
So they had like at least 100 cannons just start shooting at the castle, like da da da. You know what I mean? And yeah, all hell broke loose. And so Dita was already close to having her kid. Her due date was already close. And so I'm assuming that because of the stress of everything that was going on, like I guess her water broke because of that, right? Because doesn't that
Yeah,
happen? Can't that happen? Like if a pregnant woman is uh what is it, stressed or whatever, like her due date, not her due date, but she can like have her kid or whatever, something
yeah.
like that. I'm not too sure, but I think that's how it works. So yeah, she was stuck there having her kid, and so while all this invasion's going on, um, Krem and Maquia are trying to go get Lelia, and Ariel is fighting off the invading forces. And so you gotta keep in mind, Ariel hasn't seen Maquia in like 10 years.
They Krim and Makia are on a horse, and
On a horse, bitch!
I guess one of the bullets go flying, shoots the horse in the shoulder. They fall, so they both run. I don't know where Krim went, but
Yeah,
Makia ran, I guess, a different way, and that's when she sees Ariel. Now, do you think she knew that was Ariel? Because you would think after spending so much time with one
yeah.
person that you'd recognize them.
Oh, I don't know actually, huh?
Especially if
Because of the
you're
way
basically raising them.
I don't know. Now that you think about it, I assumed she knew it was Ariel, but from the way she reacted, I don't think she knew, dude. I don't think she
Yeah, I
knew it
feel
was
like she
Ariel.
did, but I thought I could have sworn they were shooting, so that's what
Run
made
away
her
like that.
leave. And I thought somebody called Ariel's name.
Yeah. I no, I don't think she knew it was Ariel, dude. Now that I think about it a bit more, I think because if she knew that was Ariel, I don't think she would have ran. Because
I
they
don't.
didn't. They left on a bad note, but I don't think it was one of those like. Or is that how to say it? They left on a bad note? Is that the way to say it?
Yeah.
They left.
I still
They left
don't
on
think
bad
even.
terms, but I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't think it was terms bad enough to where if she had seen him after 10 years like that, she wouldn't have been like, "Oh my God," you know what I mean? Ariel. So I don't. There's a chance that she didn't know it was Ariel.
I, I don't know. A part of me thinks maybe she knew, but
She
maybe
might
she
have
couldn't say anything because I mean they were in the middle
of a
of a
battle.
battle.
Yeah, actually, who knows on that one? Maybe she did know. Maybe I don't know. I thinking about it now. I don't know. But also, I noticed that some people thought she was pregnant because uh, Krem would like when she was in prison. Krem cut her hair, and
Uh huh.
he said like, "Oh, your hair's longer than your hips. That normally means that you're pregnant." And so he cut her hair. I think, and a lot of people thought that she was pregnant because he said that. And
I didn't think she was pregnant.
yeah, I think it was more so him saying like, "We gotta cut your hair because you're not pregnant. Like, you're not allowed to have your hair that
Oh,
long." I think
yeah,
is what he was trying to do. Because it
that
wouldn't make
makes sense.
sense. It wouldn't make sense if he cut her hair after she was if it was that long because she was pregnant. Why cut her
Yeah,
hair then? Just leave it like that.
yeah,
So I think there's a lot of symbolism in that though, because he cut all the hair that she had dyed off.
yeah.
So it was like, yeah, you got to let go of the past. Maybe that's why she didn't go to Ariel when she first saw him, because she's like
Oh,
that's
maybe.
something that I left behind already. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So maybe it's something like that. I don't know. I feel super smart
So,
saying that though.
so you know when Ariel's fighting, right? They're fighting at the castle front,
Yeah, that was some
and
savage fighting, by the way.
yeah, it was. And I thought he was gonna die.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna
because
die
he slipped on the
100%.
blood, and the way that the enemy was coming down on him with his bayonet looked like it was gonna hit him, like maybe in the chest, in the eye. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you look
But
like
he
his
hit him in
Dunzo.
the leg.
It's plot armor, dude. Honestly, if I was that soldier, I probably would have just shot him. But it was
Yeah,
probably one of those situations where now oh, because they were using muskets, so he had probably already shot his one shot.
yeah, and it takes like 30 minutes to reload.
Yeah, not they're not very efficient.
No,
For a
especially
country
if you aim down the sights, the bullet could still fly
to the right and
90
stuff.
degrees. Yeah,
For a country that has dragons and elves or lorfs or whatever, you'd think they'd be a bit more technologically advanced. Is that the way to say it? Technologically,
yeah,
technologically advanced in comparison to the other countries where they're all using the same weapons and armor.
yeah. It was like, okay, you might have these legends, but
We still got
I ain't
cannons.
shit still, boy.
Yeah, for real.
So, okay, so
He didn't die, but
he
during that
didn't
battle,
die.
Dita was giving birth because she had went into labor.
Yeah,
Um,
Maquia heard her and was helping her give birth.
and it's interesting because just like when she heard Ariel's crying, she also heard, and it sounded to me like a baby crying. When
Yeah,
she
me too.
first heard Dita, it sounded like a baby crying, and then she got closer and she found out that it was just Dita crying,
Yeah.
and that she recognized Dita, which is weird. I don't know if you noticed that, but like as soon as she
Well, I
saw
don't think
Dita,
it'd be weird. I mean, it was a girl
the
that
last
I
time
guess
she had
her
seen Dita was
Ariel
when
was.
she was like 8 or 7 or 10, dude. Like
I guess when you live forever, you
learned to
can
recognize
really
people.
learn faces.
I guess I don't know. She maybe it was like from the flower in her hair or whatever it was, because
Maybe
she still used that same like hair style.
style. Yeah.
So Makia helped Dita give birth. Cut.
That like
Why did
sheet.
they? Yeah, why did they tie that sheet up? Um,
I guess so she can hold on to something. Because normally when women give birth, right, they're holding on to something. The rails, their significant other's hand. I think it's just like a technique thing. I don't know.
Cause I've seen that before, where they tie something up on like the rafters or whatever it's
Yeah.
called, the
I think it's
beams,
just supposed to help.
help them with the pushing maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
But yeah, so she helped her give birth, helped Dita give birth to Ariel and Dita's daughter, and so and so all while that's happening with the birth and stuff, it's showing like it's going back and forth between Ariel fighting and Dita giving birth.
Hmm.
And then we see that Ariel, it makes it seem like he dies, but he doesn't. After the birth, Ariel wakes up from having been stabbed in the foot, in the leg.
In,
I guess he
in
just
the
faint
leg,
from.
yeah.
I guess he faint from getting stabbed in the leg nowadays. You know what I mean?
You
Little
don't?
bitch. What a punk, dude. He's out here slaying people and then he faints or blacks out from getting stabbed in the leg.
Yeah.
Wait, okay, maybe he didn't faint after getting
Maybe he
stabbed in the
hit his
leg.
head.
No, maybe
Because he
maybe it
was
was one of those
falling.
maybe it was one of those things where he kept fighting and then he went and got treated. And so he was just asleep on the
Mm.
ground.
Yeah.
We didn't see him faint. We just saw it just kind of cut out.
Him. And then it goes to Makia holding Ariel, right? Like his head is on her lap.
Yeah, which is in the poster. Which is I'm surprised that they made that scene the final like cuz see I thought that was going to be like this poster right here that they used for I'm assuming it's a movie poster.
I'll throw it up on screen.
I'm surprised they chose that even though it was already towards the end of the movie. Because that
Yeah.
kind of gives off the impression that, oh, Ariel is going to be old throughout the entire movie. Because when I first
Yeah.
saw the poster, I thought it was going to be a movie where, like, a knight and, like, a girl with blonde hair were gonna like fall in love. That's what I
Me
thought was
too.
going
That's
to
what I
happen
thought too.
from the
Are
poster
you
at
ta- wait, are you
least.
talking about the like the cover photo or the picture that was at the movie cover?
Like where he has her his head in her
Or are
lap
you talking at the end where it's them, I guess, back and their
in the Lorf's hometown,
orphan? Yeah.
Lorfenstagen or some shit like that. Yeah.
I'm
Well, in that end photo after the credits, it's supposedly from what I read, the author or whoever made the movie or whatever said that those people, okay, so it's Maquia, Lelia, uh I think Barlow, and then the rest are like half Lorfs. I
uh-huh.
don't think there's any more pure Lorfs aside from Maquia and Lelia. Like the
Yeah.
rest are all half Lorfs, which I mean it goes to show that they grew from, being this like isolated kind of race to being more like open to what is it, communicating and having interactions
Hmm.
with other races to the point of having offspring with them. But yeah, okay. No, I'm talking about the this poster, the movie, the poster where he has
The
his head in.
cover.
Yeah, I guess yeah, the
Yeah.
cover.
Okay. I'll
Um,
throw that one up.
but yeah, I'm surprised they used that for the cover. But anyways, so he wakes up and he sees Makia for the first time, and well, not
Here.
he no, because I mean he saw her when he was fighting, so he sees Makia for the first time in a couple hours. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Maybe a couple days.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows how long he was out? Actually, who knows? I mean that leg wound. You can even see. Is that the? Is that no? In the cover photo, that isn't bandages. What is that? I guess he's wearing some high boots. What are those kind
Yeah, it
of
doesn't look
boots?
like bandages.
But yeah, he wakes up and they start like talking, and
Yeah.
did she tell him that Dita already gave birth?
Yeah. He was like, "Oh, you're." Basically says like Dita and his kid is waiting to get home.
Yeah, and then they just kind of start talking, I guess. I don't really know about what. But then Maki is like, okay, I need to go now. And so it's weird because, oh, well, before all that, right, we see Krem trying to save Lelia. I forgot that. We see Krem trying to get
Oh
Lelia
yeah.
back. And Krem really fell off. He went crazy. He just. I already didn't like him from the start of the movie, and then I don't know why, right? He just seemed like one of those Prince Charming characters. You know what I mean? One of
Mhm.
those guys that I don't like. So when I found out
Yeah.
that Lelia was pregnant with the prince's baby, I was like, yeah, fuck Krem. But anyways, Krem went crazy. He's like, Lelia, come back with me, and Lelia was like, nah, if I'm gonna come back with you, I want to see my daughter at least, or whatever, or I want to stay with my daughter. Is basically what she told him, right?
Yeah.
And so he's like, nah, all right, fine, but we're both gonna die here then, or something like that. So
Yeah.
he torched the place and he tried killing Lelia. And so Isol or Isol, being the real one that he is,
Shot him.
shot him in his chest. And he went up and he
Yeah.
grabbed Lelia and he said, "We're out of here, baby." Is what I'd like to believe. Because I mean, when the prince was escaping, they're like, "What about your wife and kid?"
He was like, forget about him. They're
Yeah,
basically
forget about him.
useless.
Forget those monsters, is what he said. And so yeah,
Like,
they
damn.
left him to die. And Megmill was okay. So
She
Makia,
still wanted to see her mom,
yeah.
dad.
So Makia, so back to where we currently are, right, with Makia and Ariel. Makia's like, I don't know if she said she had to leave now or if this was the last time they're gonna
Yeah,
see each other, or whatever. But uh, Ariel like Ariel didn't want her to leave. I don't
she's
know.
walking like on the what did you say that is? A little river?
I don't know, dude.
Like a little watering spot. You know, the
Well,
water's probably only like an inch
it was
high.
for. I think it was more so for aesthetic purposes that they put that
Yeah.
in the palace or whatever.
So she starts walking off, and he finally calls Maquia mom. Like seriously.
Yeah, like like a little kid calling out for his mom. Like
Yeah.
he actually like it was pretty heartwarming seeing that. And then she doesn't go back. She leaves. She just kind of smiles at him and says goodbye or
Keeps
whatever.
walking. Yeah.
And then
And then
she meets up with Krim, who has been shot in his chest.
yeah,
He's already
he's
dead.
dead.
He's dead as hell. I don't. And here's the thing: she looks at the Ronaldo with the chains on and the muzzle on or whatever.
Uh
I
huh.
don't get how the hell she got that thing out of those chains.
Maki is a beast. What can we say?
Yeah, dude, she just ripped the chains off. That's what happened. We'll go with that. Well, anyways, fucking she
Lelia
uh
gets to the top to where Medmel is, her daughter, that she's
yeah.
been crying about the entire movie, right?
Yeah.
And she sees her, and the only thing she thinks about is, I guess, a conversation between her and Makia, where she's like, "I can jump and I can fly."
No, well,
And
so
yes,
she's I mean
right,
they exchanged some words, right?
but not
Obviously,
enough to
they don't
be
hug or
meaningful.
anything. Yeah, it wasn't really a meaningful meeting like at all. And so Lelia I think Lelia hears Makia say or hears Makia say jump, right?
Yeah.
And so Lelia she just says Medmel, like who? Medmel who? You know what I mean? And she just
Yeah,
yeets herself off
runs past
the.
her and jumps off of the. What would you call that? A spire, right?
Yeah,
Because
I
there's a
guess I don't
spire.
know,
Yeah,
dude.
jumps
She
off from like the
she
top of the
Assassin's Creed
castle.
dived off that thing. You could hear the eagles behind her and everything, dude.
Yeah, when I saw it, I was like, she's gonna fucking kill herself.
Yeah, I thought she was gonna hit the ground, dude. After everything
And
that
then
happened,
here,
I wouldn't put it past the movie to
yeah,
make her hit the
and then
ground.
here comes Makia flying on the Renato, Lelia behind her. Like, wow.
Yep. And then she's like, "What?
I guess you can fly too.
Oh, and then I read somewhere because Lelia was like, or not? Was it late? Who was it? Medmo or Lelia? One of them said that Medmo was gonna have a better life or something if they didn't go back and pick her up, right, or something like that. Because I was thinking, why don't
Uh
they go
huh.
back and get Medmo? And so then they're like, oh, she'll have a better life, or this is where she belongs. And I read somewhere where somebody's like, well, they literally just got taken over by a different country. And Medmail is essentially the princess of the country that just got taken over. Like, I don't think whatever's gonna happen to Medmail
I,
after this, I don't think it's good. She's gonna be taken in, and she's gonna be done. Things that were done to Lelia as a political marriage or whatever are probably
she
gonna be done to
could,
Medmail,
she could just be killed.
and have other things done to her before she was killed.
Yeah. So,
So who knows?
anyways, it
I think
it just
Medmail had
kind
a
of
dark
goes to them
future.
flying, right? Like flying through the sky, and we
Mm.
kind of get cutbacks to Ariel walking into his home with Theta and their baby.
Indeed is just like, nah. She apologizes for what she said to Ariel, and I remember that because you know how I said that she would make fun of him for that. Well, I remember earlier in the movie how Dita showed up to their house trying
With
to
flowers.
apologize. Yeah,
Yeah.
and that Ariel and Makia had just left that morning.
Hmm.
And did she cry because they left too?
Yeah, I think so.
That honestly made me sad. I laughed when I saw her crying after he said that he hated her.
Oh,
Cause
I laughed too.
I was like, cause I thought it was cute. Like it was just cute to me. Cause it was like, I don't know, stupid kids being stupid, right? But
Yeah.
it was just kids being dumb. But yeah, so she apologized for that. Like after what, like 10 years or something that had been, she decided to
Yeah.
apologize. And she's like, now I
Basically.
get why you loved your mother. She's, how could you not love someone? That's so
That
beautiful.
beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think she meant like beautiful looks wise either. I think she meant like beautiful as a character. Because I mean,
Yeah.
Makia didn't have to stay there and help her give birth.
She didn't. She could have been like later.
Yeah, she could have been like, I have things I need to do.
I gotta
But the
go
moment,
fly on a Renato and get my best friend. You know?
but the moment she realized that it was Ariel's baby, I think her motherly instincts like kicked in.
Yeah.
And so, when was it that the flashbacks started happening? Was that when Ariel was older? It
Now
kind of
the
does a huge
flashback.
sky. It does a huge time skip. It does a
Yeah.
huge time skip, and then it shows Makia coming back to Helm. I guess Helm's Ranch or Helm's Farms or whatever.
Yeah, because I think he lives where Mito lives.
Yeah, he took over Mito's house, I guess. And it's interesting because the dog that they have looks like the dog that they used to have,
Yeah.
like an exact
I thought
replica.
that too. I was like, wow.
Where'd they get that dog from? But yeah, so Makia comes and the reason she came back was because Ariel's dying, right? It's a huge time skip. Like, dude, Ariel
He's
looks
just
like he's like in his
super old
90s.
man.
And so the person that Makia first meets is Ariel's granddaughter or
Yeah.
daughter.
Granddaughter.
Cause,
The now the little girl. Remember
'Cause there's a
how
little
someone
girl.
called her? The one that said, you know, my mom just died, a couple of years ago.
Okay,
That
so
was their kid.
okay. So then the one that Makia first meets is the
Is
daughter.
her, yeah, so that's her
So that's
great granddaughter.
Makia's daughter. That's Makia's granddaughter.
Great granddaughter.
No, the
Yes.
great granddaughter's a
So
little kid.
so that's her great great granddaughter. Damn.
No, what?
Yes. Ariel and Dita had the kid, right? The older one that you see.
Okay,
And
so
then,
that's her
the little
granddaughter.
one, it's her great granddaughter.
Okay, just
Ariel and
stop real
Dito's.
quick and let me explain to you what I'm saying. So the big one that she first meets, right? The big one, not the little girl.
She didn't meet the big one first. She met the little girl first.
No. I'm talking. No, she met the big one first.
Well, she didn't.
Yeah, she
Because the little
did.
girl was playing outside.
Yes,
Because
but the big one was waiting
she
for
was like,
Makia ahead.
give ahead, but the first one she meets, she tells a
Okay.
little girl to take
All
her
right.
to
Well,
grandpa.
regardless, okay. So Makia meets both Ariel's grown-up daughter and then her granddaughter. Makia's what would be considered, I guess, her adoptive granddaughter. But at this point, I don't think Makia really sees them as
Not
her
hers.
grandchildren. Yeah, I think really the only one because I mean she wasn't around. She wasn't around them. So she meets Ariel's family, right? And Ariel's daughter. What did they name? They didn't go into what they named the daughter either, huh?
Uh,
So
the
Ariel's
little girl, her name was, I think, Lily.
Lily.
Yeah,
You sure about
I'm
that?
pretty sure.
We'll just go with. We'll just call him. We'll just call them. Okay, so Ariel's daughter and granddaughter take Makia to see Ariel because Ariel's already on his deathbed, and Ariel, I guess, uh, he wakes up long enough to say, "Welcome back" or
Welcome.
like "Welcome home" to Makia, and
Uh
then he
huh.
like dies. I guess. I think he dies. I think he died
He
uh,
died.
after he said that to Makia, and so it starts showing all these flashbacks of like,
She's already leaving, right? She's by the bridge to where he took his
yeah.
first steps.
And before she leaves, right? Ariel's granddaughter gives her these three like are they sunflowers? Daisies.
Dandelion.
Dandelions. There you go. Not the dandelions that are the flowers, but the dandelions with the seeds. So she gives Maquia three dandelions, and then like Maquia's gonna cross the bridge. And the last time Maquia cried was on that bridge, right?
Yeah, where she promised Link she wouldn't cry.
Yeah. And this is also where um Ariel took his first steps as well. Uh, so Ariel took his first steps on this bridge. Maquia cried
I
for
cried.
what I don't know for on that bridge, and then so Maquia, I think she crosses the bridge. She crosses the bridge, and she's like at this little hill or whatever, and it starts. She's like, "I'm sorry, Ariel, but mom's gonna." And then like it starts. Is that when it
That's
starts
when the
showing all these?
flashbacks happen.
Yeah,
Ugh.
and I'm assuming that happens to like real parents and stuff as well. They start having these like they start looking through these memories of what
Oh
they had
yeah.
through their children. And I know that I know a lot of parents say like the worst thing that could happen to a parent is having their kid die before them. Like
Yeah.
that's like the worst thing that could ever happen to a parent. So like she had to deal with that, and so it started showing all these. It was a tearjerker moment, and she started crying, and then from there the
Did
movie
you
just kind
start
of.
crying?
Did I start crying watching that?
Yeah.
No,
Did you? No.
no, that one didn't really. I was just
Well, then
watching.
what got you? Cause I watched and I was like, oh.
I didn't.
I wasn't
I
like
didn't cry at it.
making noise. Damn, I shed a tear before then. At the end is when I cried though.
Nah, I didn't.
That shit got me.
I know. You said. You said. I'm not gonna
So,
say what you said, but yeah,
so
you told me you
I
cried.
finished the movie and I messaged Sarah just a couple words. I said, bro, to be honest, fuck you, because I started crying.
It was my fault he started crying.
Yeah. So it wasn't even like, oh my god, I'm crying. Tears are just flowing. It was like I'm watching, my eyes are watering, a couple tears fall, and that was me. That was like the cry.
I've noticed whenever I start like I'll watch like a movie or like an anime, and they'll go to these scenes, and it's either I'll start feeling like what is that thing called? Like when there's something in your throat and you have to swallow but you can't.
I know what you're talking. It's like that crying feeling. Like your throat
Yeah,
kind of tightens up and
yeah,
like,
and it feels like there's
yeah.
something there, right? But you can't do anything to make it go away. Uh, and I feel like that didn't happen to me while watching that. I don't know
Really?
why. Yeah.
Like I said, I only shed one tear earlier, and then that scene, I was like, damn, that's heartbreaking.
Nope, it didn't. I didn't. Not for me.
Wow.
It was a good scene.
So it
It
was a
was,
really good scene.
but
And
it
then all
didn't.
the after that kind of happens, she cries, and the dandelion kind of just
Yeah, all the
blow off.
dandelions go crazy. It was really. Oh, you know what? Maybe it was symbolic, right? Cause like, and I don't know. Maybe it was. Maybe it wasn't. So she cried the first time when she realized like she was finally like she was alone, fully alone, right? And
Oh,
so
and
all the
those blue
flowers
flowers did the
bloomed,
same
right?
thing.
And so now after Ariel dies, and you know how Racine said, "You'll know true loneliness or whatever when you love someone and you lose them."
Yeah,
Maybe now she knows what true loneliness
true
is. So when she
loneliness is.
cries, these flowers or whatever do the same thing.
Wow, I wish
I don't
that
know,
happened to
dude.
me. If I cried, flowers would just go crazy.
Right?
That'd
But
be
I
kind
don't
of
know, man.
sick.
I feel smart as hell saying that too. What the hell?
That is smart.
Boy, I'm a
And that's kind of where
genius.
the movie ends, and Makio meets back up with Barlow. I guess Barlow's gonna take her back to their town, the Lorf, where the Lorfs were.
Yeah, yeah, to where the Lorfs live.
And that's kind of where the movie ends. I gotta say, I really enjoyed the outro music, like the ending.
I don't
I
even
enjoyed
remember
the
it.
music.
It was forgettable for me. I think overall, I think the movie was pretty good.
Yeah, I agree. I would say it was a pretty good movie. So, Sarah, would you recommend it to somebody?
Yeah, but would I recommend this over what is it, A Silent Voice or whatever? No, I'd say watch
Oh,
A Silent Voice over this.
a
Because in my
silent voice.
opinion, A Silent Voice is probably one of the best movie animation movies I've ever watched. Right? In
Yeah.
my opinion, like I don't know, dude, that one had me like, ooh, you know what I'm saying? Ooh. That movie was amazing, phenomenal. I
It
love that
was. It
movie.
was really good.
That I loved it so much. I read the entire manga after I saw it, dude. Just to like,
Really?
yeah, I loved it, dude. I loved all of it.
Okay.
But yeah, I'd recommend it. And so,
I would also recommend it.
so with that, I think we can now wrap this podcast up.
Yes.
So, do you have anything you would like to say ahead of time before we wrap up?
Um, if you guys, I know Sarah's probably gonna say it in the ending, but if y'all have recommendations that y'all wanna hear from us, leave a comment down below and we'll give it a watch and we'll come back with
We'll give it a whirl
I guess, our opinions, our thoughts on it,
and our spoilers for it.
and
Make
our
sure you watch it
spoilers.
before you ask for us to watch it, otherwise you'll get spoiled.
Yeah, I think that's all I have to say.
All right. With that, I hope that you guys enjoyed this episode of Normalcy Aside podcast. If you did enjoy it, leave a like. If you didn't, I mean, dislike the video. Either or is fine. If you really enjoyed the video, subscribe. And like Victor said, if y'all have any recommendations, leave it down in the comments. And with that, I hope that y'all have a nice day. Thank you for watching.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.